Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. My guest in this segment is Terry Donnelly. He is the CEO of Street Beverage Company, trading on the TSX Venture under the, oh, I love that symbol, beer.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
Terry, welcome.
Thanks.
Terry,
Pleasure to be here.
I'm guessing that Street Beverage Company has something to do with the beverage industry.
We absolutely do. We are.
What do we got? What do we got?
What do we got? Well, we are the world's most awarded company that focuses exclusively on alcohol-free wine and beer.
Oh, alcohol-free wine and beer.
We have won 3 world championships for our craft lager. Our draft has actually won 2 bronzes and a silver. We won a double gold for our Cabernet Sauvignon, which I actually didn't bring a sample of, but we have our Merlot. And that was won at the San Francisco International Wine Competition.
Really?
Which is the biggest wine competition in the world. There's over 4,200 wineries that compete in that competition.
Wow,
and the World Championship with beer, there's over 5,000 beer companies that compete in the World Championship of beer that happens in Atlanta. And so in the non-alcoholic segment, there's literally thousands of brands. So it's not a small little segment. It's actually the world's fastest growing beverage category in alcohol-free. And so we actually decided to take that platform of great tasting, award-winning products and evolve it for the new cannabis-infused beverage marketplace. So we're adding this new portfolio of cannabis-infused beverages to our alcohol-free products.
Wow, so you've already got global distribution on these products?
Well, no, we're distributed only in Canada. We're currently in about 4,500 stores across the country, expanding every time I talk to my head of sales. We've landed a new chain. We're getting a lot of interest because the alcohol-free segment, especially for our craft products, there's just a huge amount of demand amongst consumers to find ways for them to be able to enjoy a nice cold beer without being intoxicated, or more importantly is to be able to enjoy a nice cold beer without impacting their medication.
Okay.
And there's about 44% of the North American population that's on a prescription drug medication that's contraindicated to alcohol.
44%?
44%, and
wow.
That's U.S. federal government statistics.
Those big numbers.
Those are big numbers. There's over 450 prescription drugs that are contraindicated to alcohol.
I see.
And so far, we know of no medications that are contraindicated to cannabis. So we think there's going to be a big opportunity for people who can't drink alcohol because of a health condition to be able to get back into the adult format beverage marketplace, be it wine or beer or cocktails, with either an alcohol-free product that's actually good tasting, or a cannabis-infused product that gives them the same level of social stimulant that people who are healthy enjoy with alcohol, or something that has reduced calories. You'll notice that with our products, they're all endorsed by Weight Watchers. The wine has approximately 80% fewer calories than wine with alcohol.
Wow.
The beer is about a 60 to 70% reduction.
That's impressive.
So you can kind of have a guilt-free little, moment, delicious beverage without.
Guilt has never been an issue for me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I thought we could open with a little Brut Rosé.
Sure.
This is one of my favorite products. It's literally. It's one of those things where you go, I could just sit and drink this all day.
Wow.
Because it's just such a lovely, refreshing, full-bodied, and yet, I hope you'll find when you take your first sips, most people go, well, wine without alcohol really isn't that just grape juice? And I think you'll notice the difference.
It's interesting. I have a case of rosé being delivered to my house today that is supposedly one of the better rosés on the planet this year.
So I'll just give you a little
Sure.
sample. And when I was doing my investor meetings, I'd always break out one of these, say, have a sip, and then we'll see if we should continue the meeting.
Smells like rosé. Wow. That's fantastic. It has no alcohol in it.
0% alcohol.
It tastes like it does have alcohol in it.
I know, that's because it's fermented rosé. Like we start with a world-class rosé, and in the process that we use to remove the alcohol has zero impact on the flavor.
Really?
And it's a very tricky process. Takes a lot of expertise and a lot of care, but it's something that we're quite proud of, the ability to be able to create something that really gives you that sophisticated, volatile, complex flavor that you would get from a great wine.
And it does have an incredible flavor profile right from the top to the bottom. I mean, the fruit, just the mouthfeel, it's just great.
Yeah.
So. Amazing. That's...
Enjoy that, and I'll give you a little bit of the Chardonnay.
Boy, if I didn't know any better, I'd say I was going to have a buzz on after this, but I don't think I will.
I had one investor actually tell me, he said, you know, I've drunk much worse tasting wines with alcohol.
And that's not something one would generally want to admit.
I know, but it's, you know, I just thought it was a funny way of thinking about it. So
that's funny.
This is a Chardonnay. These are all made from a French winery that we sourced. Vines are around 150 years old. So very old vines, very full-bodied flavor. And you know, perfect for a nice summer day, sitting on the patio. So it's another great tasting product. This is actually our best-selling product.
Is that right?
The Chardonnay. Yeah, it outsells the red about 2 to 1 and the Brut about 3 to 1.
Boy, that rosé is still at the top of my list of the ones I've tried so far.
And the nice thing is, as I mentioned, the process that we use to infuse cannabis means that the beverage that you're tasting right now is the exact taste and aroma that you'll get from the infused product that we'll be producing when those become legal.
Well, that's interesting, because I've tried a few infused beverages, and you know, uniformly, they have not been able to eliminate the taste of that sort of floral, aromatic, oily taste of the cannabis. I mean, it's there in some respect, either very faintly or in some cases much more so than others. I have tried a cannabis-infused beer that was an excellent beer that I could not taste the cannabis in, and that was a real eye-opener.
And cannabis is a cousin of hops. So, you know, it's actually not that difficult for you to use cannabis the way you use a hop to flavor a beer. And there's certainly people out there that are going to be making cannabis from, or making beer from cannabis, or infusing beer, putting the cannabis directly into the beer. You know, our process of infusing essentially means that we can standardize dosage very effectively and so standardize the experience very effectively by concentrating strains, by being able to very definitively measure exactly how many milligrams of CBD or THC there will be in the end beverage.
So you're partnered with Lexaria for this infusion process.
Exactly, and when we began down the path with Lexaria, we were going through a process of reviewing all of the available infusion technologies that existed, and that was one of the main reason why we chose Lexaria, was because they could deliver a product that had literally zero impact on the odor and taste. That was the #1 criteria for us. There's all kinds of companies that can take cannabis oil and make it water soluble, or make it something that has the accelerated availability to bioavailability and absorption that Lexaria has.
Sure.
But there was no other company that we looked at, and we looked at a lot of them, that could render the cannabis oil completely benign as an ingredient, so that our Chardonnay or our rosé, which are very delicate, very nuanced flavors, that flavor shines through with literally zero impact from the cannabis. And that was the one main criteria that Lexaria stood head and shoulders above anyone else that we looked at.
Sure.
And so why we chose them.
So is the price of these products, now these obviously don't contain cannabis yet, but
Yeah.
are the price of these products competitive with other products that you find in grocery stores that are representative of de-alcoholized products?
Yeah, we actually price our products to compete in the segments that they're in. I mean, our craft beer is about $3 a can. This is about $8, $9 for a 6-pack for our draft beer for this product right here. And the wine is anywhere from 10 to 18 bucks a bottle right now. And these are non-vintage table wines. So when we come out with the infused product, and this is one of the things that we're really excited about being able to do, is to be able to produce fine vintage alcohol-free infused wines.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the things you'll notice on the label is there's no year.
Right.
Right, so that's called a non-vintage wine. And that comes from the fact that we take a single vintage varietal, so the Chardonnay of 2015, but we have to actually blend it with fresh grape juice to end up with a product the way it is. But our new advances in the de-alcoholization technology allow us to actually maintain a single vintage in the bottle.
Wow.
So that there's no need to add additional grape juice at the end of the process.
Interesting. Can we try the Merlot? Because that's
Sure.
For me, that's going to be a real.
Absolutely.
Can I do the honors?
Well, I was going to wait until towards the end, so just let it warm up a bit. It's been in the
Okay.
cooler with the other products, so
Right.
it's a little chilled.
Well-
If you like, you can try it right now and drink it a little bit chilled.
I drink my reds at a maximum of 17, 18 degrees.
Okay, so if you want to try it while it's a little cooler, or do you want to try the beer?
I'll give it. Does it want to breathe?
Absolutely, it gets better tasting as it oxidizes.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll finish my beer.
Yeah.
But I'll pour a little bit of this.
Pour a
for
little
you.
in, and we'll have it sit in the glass for a while.
Sure.
But you'll see, from the color and the body of the wine, that it's definitely a full-bodied Merlot.
It's actually.
And certainly has the nose.
Well, it's going to take going to have to warm up a bit
it'll
before we
warm
can
up a
really
bit.
get a nose
Exactly.
on
But the pilsner, which is our draft, is just a great summer drinking beer.
that. Right.
And we're extremely happy to have partnered with Prostate Cancer Canada we're the official beverage partner of Plaid for Dad. So we have a donation from every product we sell goes to a health promotion organization. So whether it's the Canadian Liver Foundation, prostate cancer, various charities that we partnered with, MS Society, Canadian Cancer Society, the various organizations that we partnered with, who are researching issues related to alcohol. Alcohol is a toxin and does bad things in your body, whereas cannabis is actually has been widely touted as a therapeutic agent.
Oh, you're preaching to the converted
Exactly.
here.
Right? So what do you think of the Pilsner?
I love it. It's very refreshing.
I would say it's the perfect beer for the drive into work.
Yeah. With this we can drink and drive.
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How much in say 2017 of your total product portfolio did you sell?
Our numbers are filed. We did shy of 2 million.
Okay.
And it was a transition year. When I took over the company in March of 2017, it was less than $1 million in revenues. It had been operating as a private label brand for Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Oh.
And so we took over that business and basically completely transformed it. It had been operating for about 7-8 years, just kind of muddling along. The brand really didn't resonate with consumers, mostly because the logic of having Mothers Against Drunk Driving produce a wine or a beer for the designated driver makes a ton of sense. But consumers don't just buy brands logically, they buy them emotionally. And when you actually consider all of the emotional attributes of the MAD brand for the noble cause and the important work that it is, it's not a celebratory social brand, which is what beverages, especially wine and beer, are. The experience of cracking a bottle of champagne lifts everyone's spirits. When you see the MAD brand It's very serious and somber. It's the exact opposite emotional response.
Right.
And so it's one of the reasons why the brands never really took off. So when we rebranded and reinvented the company, you kind of had to press reset on everything.
Sure.
So we did that last year. We still managed to double our revenues, which was a very, very positive outcome. And we're starting to see the impact of that. We've had one major retail customer that we're in has actually ordered 4 times the product under the new brand for the holiday period.
Okay.
And
so what has to change in the regulatory framework before these products can be sold legally?
Well, the infused products are written into the cannabis legalization bill to be that edibles should be available within 1 year of achieving royal assent. So we're running the business expecting that the infused products will be available in October 2019. Right now, the products themselves, so there is actually no legal creation for a cannabis-infused bottle of wine in the law. So there's no regulations on it. It doesn't exist in the law. There's no such thing in the laws around a cannabis-infused beer. So they need to create these products first from a regulatory standpoint to allow them to exist in our political and legal landscape. And then we have to figure out where they're going to be available. Personally, I see no reason in the world why a cannabis-infused beverage shouldn't be on the menu at Swiss Chalet.
That's right. They'll sell more chicken.
They'll sell more chicken. It's a safer, healthier alternative to alcohol. And with the same degree of stimulant level, with the same bioavailability, the same onset and duration as alcohol, which is what we're creating. Why wouldn't a family restaurant want to have something that's a safer and healthier alternative to the product they already carry?
Yeah.
It's still wine, still available in a bottle. We all know it's 5 servings in a bottle. We know what a beer serving looks like. We know the level of stimulant that we get when we drink one.
Okay.
So we're replicating all of that to be able to provide a true alternative to alcohol in the marketplace.
Oh, interesting. And so at this point, you've raised $4.8 million.
Yeah.
And you just recently went public?
Just recently went public.
Wow.
Yeah, about
okay.
2 weeks ago.
And so how many shares outstanding totally?
Fully diluted, there's 86 million shares. With a public float in what's not in escrow is about 30 million that's available for trading right now. So I think we've done well in the market. It's accepted us, as a relatively solid entry into the marketplace.
Yeah.
And we're excited about what the future holds. We've got a whole plan and strategy around product formulation, packaging design. Sorting out the distribution and retail availability of where the products are going to be sold. But still, the goal for us is to be able to have something that you can bring to a party that fits what you're looking for in a social adult format beverage, which we think strongly is the right format. Gummies and chocolates don't really appear as an adult format that wouldn't be construed by your children as a candy.
Right.
Kids
point.
know not to drink mom and dad's wine. They know not to go into your beer. They know the difference between a beer and a soda. Right.
Perfect.
So it's important that we keep to those critical identifiers from a branding and packaging standpoint.
You bet. Okay, that's a great introduction. We're going to come back to you, and I'll look forward to more samples when they're infused. But it sounds like an amazing idea and a great story, and we'll be following with interest. Thanks for joining me today.
James, absolute pleasure. Thanks for having us.